Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be providing a market analysis for PYR Vulcan Forged, going over some very key support resistance levels, as well as my expectations on where PYR is headed over the next few months. So if you enjoy the content, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. So first, I do want to talk about the fact that, we have started to reclaim some key areas. And really, if I pull up this 20 moving average here, this is a very key moving average that we're starting to break back above. So essentially what we've been doing over the past few months is just rejecting continuously off this area, forming these resistance points off the 20 moving average. And in the short term, we're starting to come back above this and flip it into support. So you can see this key bounce here on July 26th. So a very key sign, and it's a great sign. And what I would want to see is a continuation of this pattern, maybe another correction back down, a retest of support, and then bounce from there. That would be ideal, because in general, in an uptrend, we can see this area hold as support. And really, if we just go back to 2021 as some sort of case study, we can see, we've had support off this moving average several times, just kind of bouncing off this, forming higher highs, and then continuing the uptrend until it breaks eventually, which it did break here in December, and then we actually flipped it into resistance. So that's when it becomes an issue, when you have rejection points off this moving average. And essentially, we are starting to get back above it, so that's a great sign again, and I would like to see that continue. If I just remove all these real quick, I want to look at these support and resistance areas, the most notable one being around $5. This is going to be strong resistance, and this is resistance because if we go back again to 2021, we can see we had this sharp rejection here in August. We came again, one more rejection, this one a little bit shorter, and then what we did was we came above it, and then came back down, flipped it into support. So a very key support resistance area. You can also see how we had this rejection here back in May. So in the event we're starting to get back up to that level, you can see the wicks are getting pretty close. If we're starting to get back up to that level, I would consider that to be strong resistance. But if we're starting to reclaim that, that would ultimately be a very positive sign. So what that would look like is, again, something like this coming back above it. And then in the event we get something like this happening, then I'm going to start to look at this next area around $8. Now, logically, this is the next major resistance point ahead of that. We can see how we had numerous bounces off of this as support. Earlier on in this year, we basically had 4 key bounces, and then it was prior resistance again back earlier on in 2021. And essentially, this was the resistance point. We came back down, flipped it into support, came back up, flipped it into support. So it's really kind of just these levels that we're going to have to take step by step and play it level by level. So if we're starting to get back above this level, hold it as support. That's a great sign. It leads me to target this area. But if not, then I expect probably some sort of consolidation phase. We've already got a consolidation phase already forming here, but the longer it takes to develop, that's ultimately the more positive in my opinion. So if we were to say move this out and say we consolidate for a few weeks longer, this is going to be a little bit better for the chart in my opinion. It really builds up a little bit more structure and leads us to have more of an accumulation zone. So now I want to switch over to the PYR Bitcoin ratio, which it does a great job at showing you the opportunity cost of PYR, and it shows you which asset is outperforming. So in general, we do want to see our altcoins outperforming Bitcoin. They do take on higher risks, so we do want to see them have higher returns. So there is this very key resistance point, similar to the USD pair, where we're kind of right at the resistance. This level around 2,000 Satoshis, really it's just been this support level that we bounced off of 3 times already this year, and then when we broke below it, you can see we haven't really tested it since. So the wicks are getting all the way up to this level. If it's going to be another rejection, we might come back down and retest some of these levels, which is not a bad sign if we can hold it. Again, that would just build out a little bit longer of a base, which is not a bad sign. It would kind of lead me to believe we're just going to do a little bit more accumulation, a little bit more sideways, and then eventually later down the road we could actually reclaim that and then flip it into support. And once we flip it into support, that leads me to target some of these lower highs, and that would bring a lot of strength into the USD pair, because that would mean PYR is outperforming Bitcoin. So that's the end of the analysis. I hope you guys enjoyed. And by the way, if you guys want to check out our sponsor for this channel, you can head over to ftx.us. This is where I buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency. You can use my referral code SNOWYCRYPTO and get a 5% discount on your trading fees. I will leave a link to that in the description below, and I definitely recommend checking them out. And thank you to FTX for being our partners. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and as always, I will see you in the next one.